We're back to the Neil Haley Show and also the Love Is Celebrity segment. I'm excited to welcome to the program the co-host, Kim Sorrelle, author of Love Is. Kim, how are you? And I know you're excited about our guests.
I'm so excited, Neil. I'm doing great. Thank you. I am so excited to talk about 1,000 Tomorrows, but I'm wondering if you have time for 1,000 questions, because I feel like I have that many questions for you guys. Tyler and Karen Kingsbury, 60 books or something like that you've written. Unbelievable. You are a machine. I don't know how you do it. And Tyler, the stuff that you've written, Remember Me, my favorite song. I think my favorite song ever. Just beautiful stuff. Wow. Welcome to the show, and tell us how 1,000 Tomorrows came about.
Well, we are super excited to be with you today first. So thank you.
Thanks for having us.
So 1,000 Tomorrows is a book that I wrote a few years ago. And Sony AFFIRM came to us and said, we would love to do a television series on 1,000 Tomorrows. And I said, awesome, but I want to write it. And they said, great. And I said, except I don't have time. So I said, let me tap and see if my son, who's the best screenwriter I know, would he be willing to collaborate with me on this, and then we could actually work something out. And so Tyler then stepped into the picture and wrote the 6 one-hour episodes, and one at a time took them to my house, and we went over them at a table. I kind of did a table read and came up to where we just both loved them and felt like they really represented the book.
That's fantastic, and it really saw the message, right? You want it, anything that you make into a movie or a TV series, Karen, you want it to be what you wrote, right? As a writer, that's such an important thing, isn't it?
It really is. And, there have been times when, you write something in a book and someone makes it into a movie, and it's a good movie, but it may not have the actual heart or the message of what you kind of saw. So along the way, we've learned, and I love screenwriting. It's so fun. Tyler is really gifted at it. So we've got a couple different things that we've done, and now this. So super excited to see 1,000 Tomorrows on Pure Flix.
Yeah, well, and you seem to have some personal connection maybe to some of 1,000 Tomorrows, like Ali's mom. You know what it's like to have a child who has a physical issue, and so when you write that part, when you write about Ali's mom, you could just feel it. What was that like for you?
You're absolutely right. Our youngest son, my husband and I, Austin, he was born with a heart defect. And so every year, even still, we go and get it checked. But when he was 3 weeks old, he had to have emergency heart surgery, blood transfusions. He was on a heart-lung machine. And the odds weren't that he was going to come out of that. But by God's grace, he did. And he wanted to go off to play football, so even from a young age, I wanted him to play chess, something that would take him out of danger, but he was wanting to be in the thick of it. And I just had to, with all the other kids, when Tyler was out on a court playing a sport, I was like cheering. But when Austin was out there, it was like, just that you kind of hold your breath and pray that everything will be okay. So I definitely relate to Ali's mom. This is 1,000 Tomorrows is the story of an angry bull rider and a sick barrel racer, and the love that really neither one of them should have found together.
And how important, Karen, is that to put the story together, or those two opposites attract in a way, for sure?
Yeah, Tyler was talking about that earlier, and he was saying that they were almost like, the magnets that were the opposite energy, where they didn't attract initially. They were like going the other direction. Very different lives, and yet God brought them together in a way that only he could. And I think there's lessons to learn from both. Cody is angry. He rides angry. He's upset that his dad left, and he's very defensive of his little brother who has Down syndrome. And he loves him fiercely and wants to protect him, but he doesn't have any space in his life for love other than for his brother. And then there's Ali, who's sick, and she knows she's going to have a short life because she's choosing to spend her days in the rodeo around the dust and the dander of the horses. But that's what she wants, and that's what she feels God has called her to do. She has no room in her life for love either. And just watching how God takes what looks like an impossible situation and brings not only love from it, but change for the better.
One of the things that I thought was so beautiful was when Ali first meets Cody's or little brother, or Gunnar, Cody Gunnar's little brother, and didn't realize that he was Down syndrome because Cody never said anything, and Ali was surprised by that. And I loved Cody's response to that.
Yeah, you know, Ali, one of the things that we got to do with the TV show, Tyler, talk about that. How with the book, you know, I can make an interesting conversation on a couch feel gripping, but in TV that doesn't play off as so gripping. So Tyler did a great job taking those first drafts and finding moments that we didn't have in the book that we do get to have with 6 episodes on Pure Flix. So
Yeah, and I think what's beautiful about, you know, Ali meeting Carl Joseph, who is Cody's brother, is that she really sees Cody's heart, that he doesn't see that Carl Joseph has Down syndrome. He just sees his brother, you know. And as Cody and Ali grow closer, as they start to let their walls down and let each other into each other's lives, they learn from each other. You know, she learns that Cody's hard exterior isn't really who he is, that he has a deep heart. And you know, Cody gets to see how fearless Ali is. So it was beautiful to explore all the layers of these characters that, of course, my mom created, you know, when the book first came out.
and Tyler got to create one character. It was a moment that I'll never forget, kind of in the TV show, where, you know, Ali is leaving the arena and she sees a woman who's working and picking up popcorn and cleaning, and the woman has Down syndrome. And something spills, and Ali steps in and helps, and just, you know, and Cody sees this from afar, and he is able to go, okay, she's beautiful, but that I could fall in love with, and it changes everything.
Now, Tyler, what is it to have your mom be Karen Kingsbury? Is that a hard for you as a writer to say, how can I compare with her?
Oh, I mean, I think it's the best mentor situation. You know, growing up, she was always just mom. She still is just the best mom. She always put, you know, family and faith before her work. And so I've just learned how she's balanced everything well. And I have the best ear when I have a good writing idea or something I want to work on. I can just call her up and say, hey, what do you think about this? You know, and of course, working on the TV show, getting to have the author of the source material so close, you know, it's a dream scenario. I feel so blessed to be able to work with someone who is not only a great mom, but who's also a great creative. And she pushes me to be better. And I hope I do the same for her. It's been awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool to be able to talk about it over Sunday dinners, which probably is pretty rare. That probably doesn't happen often. So that's pretty nice scenario. And you've adopted 3 kids from Haiti, 3 boys from Haiti. Haiti is near and dear to my heart. And what a beautiful story. I read what you wrote about it, and it's just such a beautiful story. How's everybody doing?
Everyone is doing really well. 2 of our kids from Haiti live out of state, so they're busy with their lives. We don't see them as often, and they, you know, have found their own career paths, which is awesome for them, but doing well. And EJ's still here. He's helping us with our You Were Seen ministry that we have. It's youwereseen.com, where you can carry around a pack of 10 cards at every moment you have, you know, in life. God has a miracle there for you if you're looking. And so all of your life and all of that barista's life will intersect in a single moment. Are you going to be ready in case you're the only hope that she has to find Jesus? So the cards, we connect with the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association. And so our website, youwereseen.com, leads to the peacewithgod.net with Billy Graham, and a 24/7 prayer prayer line that is actually on the back of the card. So there was one example, a police officer got a card, and he was getting ready to go out and face a riot situation, you know, a couple summers ago. And he called and he said, I don't know that I'm not sure if I'm a Christian. I don't know if I have, you know, if I'm heaven bound, and I'm facing what could be my death. And a person on that prayer line prayed for him. So, you know, EJ, our son, one of our sons that we adopted from Haiti, he oversees the entire implementation of that ministry. So it's a beautiful thing. Everyone who's here in Tennessee, we all work together, we create together, and it's really fun. We have a great time.
It seems like you definitely have a great time. Karen, what do you hope people that watch 1,000 Tomorrows learn from this?
Well, we have really taken that to the next step, which is fun. Pure Flix has arranged that. So on pureflix.com and on karenkingsbury.com, you can get a 10-minute teaching piece where I do a 10-minute video. And then there's a downloadable study guide that you can get for each episode. So right now it's episodes 1 and 2 that are available. And so with that, what we're hoping you'll do is not just consume it. We know you're going to love it, But we want you to watch 1,000 Tomorrows with your friends, with your family, maybe your small group, maybe your Bible study, and then sit down and talk about it. That's something our family does. We do a lot of talking together. We'll throw a question out there, and sometimes the answer can go an hour, where we're just all sharing. And that's how people not only grow closer to God, but to each other.
Yeah, that's so true. I love that. I love that you have that element with it, that's available. I think you're absolutely right. People are going to get so much out of this. I love the way you incorporate faith into your books always, but not like in your face kind of,
Right.
but just in such a natural way. That's like to me, that's such a gift to be able to do that and make it so clear, but yet it's not so overt. It's just beautiful. What is your secret to that?
Well, when Jesus wanted to tell you something straight, he just told you. And when he was upset with something, he might turn over a table. But when he wanted to touch your heart, he told a story. And I think that the key is, stories should be physical, intellectual, emotional, and spiritual. And so I'm blessed that I don't have to cut that part out. Like a lot of people are uncomfortable to write about the spiritual. Not all my characters are making right decisions, and not all of them are headed to heaven today, but there's always that spiritual angle, and it's just kind of woven into the story. It should be integrated. It should be something that you see and that I'm not having to tell you.
Exactly. And the best place again is available on Pure Flix now. The first episodes are out, you said already. So
Yes, yep.
all right, fantastic.
Yeah,
And
there's
you're
it's-
not airing them all at once, right? You
That's
said,
right.
okay,
In
that's
fact,
great.
if you go to pureflix.com right now, it's the first thing you'll see, 1,000 Tomorrows. And yeah, episodes 1 and 2 are there right now. And then every Friday we'll release another one.
What's a big secret that you can offer authors out there that want to be successful like you, Karen? What do you think they need to do to get to that level?
It's a series of things, it's doing like the kind of the things that may not seem like they're important, but like being in God's word every day. I mean, for me, there's no way I'm going to hear what God's saying to me if I'm not hearing what he's, I'm not going to get the story that he wants me to write unless I'm listening to his story and in his word. So I start with that. And then, if you have an idea, outline it. For me, that's probably a big kind of key. I could not write if I didn't outline. So I have to love my outline. Even halfway through a book, I might reorganize and be like, okay, that last half I need to kind of restructure, but I would say love your outline and then you'll love your book.
All right. We appreciate it, guys. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank
So fun
you.
to be with you.
You're welcome. You're listening and watching The Neil Haley Show, and we'll be back in just a moment.